Hello and welcome to what was the Arsenal Bite-Sized podcast and is now the weekly canon because we were never bite-sized anyway. I'm your host Clayton and I'm in a very good mood today. Is it because the Arsenal are unbeaten in 18? No, even though it could be. It's because good old Uncle Mike is back from South Africa. Uncle Mike, welcome back. I missed you. How you doing?
Eyeball. Eyeball, not jam on.
I feel like you need to tell people why you're saying that.
Pre backstage, we were just having a chat, and Clayton said to me, "What's South African for hello?" And I'm like, "It's eyeball, mate. I think that's a slang word." And he's gone, "Is it jam on? Jam on?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And then he just Googled jam on, and it's ham in Spanish, as we all know. So it's a good start.
You spent 3 months in America. You tend to absorb the mental state.
And this is my first appearance on the weekly canon. So since the change,
the most me thing ever, right? Like updated all the images on Twitter, YouTube, all of that. The actual thing in this, whatever this is, you can tell I'm not a technical guy, but like the template, I still haven't got around to doing that. I will do that. But if anyone is new around here or anything, or like I am conscious there are probably going to be people that listen to us that don't really know you and I that are going to be like, I don't know, they remember the Arsenal bite-sized thing. So I think for the next few pods, I'll keep saying it, and then I'll transition into it. But I joked about it, but it did feel like when I started the Arsenal bite-sized pod, it was intention. The intention
was 20 minutes time, 20 minutes or 15, 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Well, especially the previews were, and I think the previews still can be, but because of the schedule, like back then we weren't in Europe, right? Or no we weren't. So now it's like 2-3 games a week. It's hard to keep up with doing a pod for each game, so we've had to kind of bunch them together. But anyway, I thought the weekly canon sounded like a nice kind of change. Like, I think there will be periods where because of our schedules we can only do one a week, so there it is. And on that note, I've been slacking with this. We are actually 11 subs away from 400, so if anyone is listening live, well, make yourself known if you are. But yeah, drop the stream a like, share it with you. I always say if people can share this pod with their group chats and Arsenal friends, that's usually the best kind of advertising you could ever do, to be honest. And so all of that good stuff. If you can help us get to 400, that'll be much appreciated. But anyway, let's talk football. Like I said, we are 18 unbeaten now. What games did you catch while you were abroad? I forgot what.
So I flew out from Heathrow at 10 o'clock after the North London derby. So I watched the North London derby in a pub at Heathrow Airport.
I bet there must have been some Spurs in there.
100. No. Because I was landside, so I hadn't gone through security at that point. So I didn't want to sit and look because they weren't going to show it in the Wetherspoons in there because there's just news in there. So I watched it. There was a Liverpool fan and a couple of foreign guys who I think were supporting Arsenal. So there was no commentary. I was with my missus and
no smooth couple. FM either, no?
No, man. So there was no commentary with my missus and another couple. He's a Liverpool fan, so he was pissed off from the day before, which was beautiful. And no commentary. And I'll tell you what, before the game, I've never, ever done this. I was in the lounge and I'd have a G&T and to my 2 consecutive drinks, I knocked over the table. All over my missus' passport, all over her boarding pass.
Oh shit!
2 consecutive drinks, and they was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "It's pre-match nerves, man."
Is that what it was?
It was pre-match nerves. All I could think about was I was flying out to a lovely holiday, and all I could think about was the North London derby. I had a ticket. I could have gone if I'd flown on the Monday, but I flew on the Sunday anyway. So that was a great start to the holiday. It could have been an absolute nightmare start to the holiday, but it was a great start to the holiday. So I saw that one. I then saw the Bayern Munich in a bar in Cape Town full of Arsenal fans, 90% Arsenal fans, 5% Bayern Munich fans, 2 Spurs fans, and a sprinkling of Liverpool fans, including my mate. So that was a really good night as well because Cape Town Arsenal fans, man. And all they want to do, though, is say, have you got a season ticket? Have you got a ticket?
Oh, really?
And all it's about, like, if I ever come to London, can you get me a ticket? So they
just say yeah and then never see him
again.
Of course,
mate. Of course, I'm just taking numbers and putting them in contacts and say, yeah, mate, I'll sort you out. So that was a great night. And then on the Chelsea game, I was actually on safari, just on a game drive. So
were our team, I think.
I know, mate. And I saw cheaters just like we saw as well. So just like we played. Seriously, I did. So it was amazing. But I couldn't pick my phone up while we were going round on a game drive to check the score.
As in, you weren't allowed, or you didn't?
No, I
physically do it yourself.
I could have, because you're going around with your phone, you're taking all your pictures, but I wouldn't have. The reaction of the other 7 people on the Jeep and the game ranger, if I'm sort of going, fucking hell, Caicedo's been sent off, or shit, we're losing 1-0, it just wouldn't have gone the vibe, man. It's not that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
so
no, I get that.
I had to wait till I got back to the campfire. Internet was shit. Trying to find any updates. Saw that it was 1-1, and I just had to accept that. And yeah, I've kind of moved on from that. And then I did see the Brentford game. So it's been a hell of a week. If you told me 2 weeks ago, 3 wins and a draw, I would have taken that. You know,
me too. Yeah. No,
if you look at it in a block of games like that. So how was your experience? Because you've been back now and you've gone to the Munich game.
Yeah, I missed the North London derby in person.
Yeah,
I was able. I watched it from abroad.
Yes, of course.
I was physically at Bayern. It was nice. Like I was saying on I don't know if you've heard this. I was saying on Planet FPL, we'll do this another time because I'm a little bit pushed for time.
Yeah, cool.
My relationship with Arsenal is definitely different, having been away for a while. And I wouldn't say the love is different.
No.
But I need to be careful how I say this. I'd almost say the care is, though. Like the care is definitely different. Like the love isn't, but I don't know. I want to spend some time.
That's a whole new pod, mate. That's a whole pod.
No, it is genuinely.
You know that. Seriously, it is. Because life changes, you know.
Big time. And I remember you and I had a really good phone call before I went, where I was talking about my concerns and what if Arsenal do the unthinkable? And it's December, but it's looking good, brev. So yeah, but we'll touch on that another pod where we got more time for sure. My relationship and experience as a fan of this football club is definitely different, not in a negative way, not in a positive way. It's just different, and I'd like to talk about that. But I'll just shout out some of the guys in the chat. We've got Marsh is in afternoon, or he's still feeling relaxed after a light walkabout on Wednesday night. I'm not sure about that, mate. I'm not quite on that same page, to be honest. Christopher Tellers, how's it going, gents? Just getting off work in a few minutes, so this is perfect timing for his commute back home. Nice one, Chris. Hope you're good, mate. He's saying huge game tomorrow. Emery will absolutely be wanting to thwart our title chances, especially with where Villa find themselves in the table after a poor start. We've got Charles in, top of the Merino morning to you, gents.
I like it.
I like that as well. And Chris is saying, hoping Rice is fit enough to play. Looks like Mosquera will actually miss out. So I haven't had a chance to watch Arteta's presser live. Have you?
No, I just saw the brief update on the Sky Sports banner to say that Saliba, Mosquera and Trossard might be available, depending on after training another session. I didn't hear anything about Rice. Have you?
No, the only thing is there was this quote or clip doing the rounds the other day. I haven't seen a video of it, but I saw the transcript where apparently he told Sky himself that he's fine, he's available. But some other people have made a really good point. How many times have we heard that before? And because you think you're fine, and then a medical professional rules you out. So
no.
So anyone in the chat, if you can share some helpful, because I've not even had a chance to look at the transcripts of the presser, to be honest. So if you can share some helpful quotes around some of the, like Mike said, the Salibas, the Trossards, who was the other? Mosquera. That'll be really, really helpful. But what we'll do, we're obviously going to preview the Villa game a bit later, but I don't think we need to do War and Peace on Brentford, but I do think it'll be good to just kind of touch on some of the encouraging things I really believe there was. Any concerns there were, how you're feeling going into the weekend. So what was your kind of synopsis of midweek?
Well, confession, I missed the first 15 minutes because I was walking back from the restaurant to the hotel. I actually saw, as I was walking past the restaurant, I saw the goal just go in. So realised it was Merino, run back to the hotel and settled down. And I thought it was quite an edgy game, but I just think we've experienced this before. I think we've forgotten how edgy a title race can be. So every single game is going to be like this, and it's just the consequences of the fear of what's happens if you're going to lose. And I don't think we felt safe at 1-0. But then it's another game where you look at the data, and the data will show you it was a fairly comfortable game. If you want to, what do you think about the rotation? Because there was some rotation. When I saw the lineup, I was pleased that Saka was rested. There's the discussion of the Noni impact, because I thought it was very good against Bayern Munich. I believe I dare say didn't see the game, not so good against Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think he was very, from what I saw, he was in the first half very good. But again, there's a little bit of a concern for me of the final product. So I think I saw a bit of an improvement with him. He had quite a nice relationship with Ben White on that side. And that right-hand side did look a bit better, or certainly looked more like what we've seen in the past with Ødegaard there. But yes, I do want to see a little bit more impact from Noni. I was a bit concerned why we didn't rest Rice.
Okay.
But is that one step too far with what the rotation we had already?
So there's three key things that I want to talk about: Madueke, the rotation, and Rice. What one do you want to go with first?
Madueke.
Speaking of, my mate Andrew's in the chat. We were sat next to each other on Wednesday, and just the way we were saying Noni's name, it's very stupid. It was making me laugh. It was just saying Noni in a certain way, but he's in. But sorry, which one did you want to start with?
Madueke. Let's go for Noni.
So for Noni, I really like him.
I do.
I don't have concerns on his end product because of my expectations of where he is for his age, and like this is excluding what we're seeing Bukayo Saka do, because I think he's a very unique player that you can't really it's unfair to compare and benchmark anyone to him. My biggest love of what I'm seeing with Madueke, especially in the home games, is his will and balls to get the ball, stand his fullback up, and take him on. And I don't give a fuck if he loses the ball. I just want his action every single time to have the confidence and the self-belief to take that man on, because you put pressure on them. It was the left back. Was it Rico Henry?
Yeah.
Henry.
Then starts giving away corners.
Yeah, and that's it. It's we speak a lot about the influence and the aura we have of set pieces, right? It's the same with someone like Madueke consistently taking his man on versus getting the ball, thinking, I'm going to give it back to White or back to Ødegaard. And like we saw it against, was it Forest? He completely killed whoever was at fullback. So like, I don't disagree with people saying like his end product is inconsistent, but I'm not concerned with that, because that's something that will come with time, with coaching, the attitude to take your man on consistently. And like, mate, there was the flick he did for Ben White, where White then crossed it in for Merino. There was another thing where he did a few shimmies, created a yard for himself to get a shot off. I know his corners were terrible. I know the end product in the crossing didn't always connect, but that will come. I absolutely love what we've potentially got with him, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Like I'm not lying to anyone. I wasn't over the moon with him as an idea when we got him, but the more I'm seeing from him, there's more things that I'm very, very enthusiastic about what we may have here, combining with the quality of coach we've got. So I loved it, what I saw from him. I think he completely fell off second half, but like that first half in particular, mate, I was very, very excited. And like, I think there's games for him, right? Like Villa away, sure, there's the high line, you can exploit the space, but Villa away is a game where you want to be efficient in your final third actions. That doesn't scream Madueke to me.
No.
That's more like Trossard or an Eze, like the clinical decisiveness. But that's my 2 pence on Madueke. What about you?
I know, because today we are trying to keep it short. So I just say I totally agree with everything you say. And the biggest thing for me, it's Saka managed to sit down for however many minutes, and that to me is why we bought Madueke, to give you that impact. Yes, he could do a little bit more, but exciting times ahead for him. Just coming back from injury, building up relationships and combos. So no, I agree with you, mate.
Yeah, and Chris has said it as well, right? The Nonny White link up in the first half, it was very promising. And I guess that kind of segues onto the other point you were making, which was on the rotation. So like, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the pod Simon and I did before the game.
Yes.
And we both were kind of the thinking of like, we would rotate the team, but didn't think Arteta would do more than 2 to 3, if that. And what did he do? So White came in.
Hincape, Mosquera, Nonny.
Ødegaard came in, didn't he? So it was White, Ødegaard, Madueke, and
Martinelli. Yeah. But that all looks good, and I can see, it's such a hindsight thing, isn't it? I mean, you was in the ground, so I can imagine you saw it more. The impact of Rice was blowing out of his arse, and that is a calf injury like that, or that is a fatigue injury. He's done but 4 back-to-back 90s, and he's played a hell of a lot of football, and in some incredibly intense games as well, and he's been brilliant. So
the one thing
my mate Sarge made the point, and it's like, why, if you're buying Ødegaard and he's Brentford's captain, and then why can't you play him against Brentford?
See, I massively disagree on that, and I'll explain why.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing. But obviously Rice is a totally different player, and I just think it would have been, with that, if you'd had Saliba and Gabriel there, or at least one of them, I can then see why you would have an Ødegaard instead of Rice. But the fact that you've got them two there, there's no way Arteta's rotating his, those tent poles that he has in the middle of the defence to protect that back four. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Ødegaard for Rice thing makes no sense to me, because they play completely different positions in this team. It would be more if people were like, Ødegaard should play instead of Zubimendi, but Zubimendi had his rest where he got hooked early against Chelsea. The Rice thing for me, I get where people are coming from, and he does need a rest. And I understand again where people are coming from. Like, could we have done it against Brentford? That Brentford game was closer than we all thought it would be, and Rice was in the team. Imagine what it would have been like without him. Like, I wouldn't have rested him in that game. Bruges, I don't want to see him on the plane or the train, however they get there. Like, I am personally looking back at, because what did you say? 4 90s in a row, right? So Chelsea, Bayern, Tottenham. Who was before that?
Well, Sunderland, wasn't it?
Sunderland. I don't look at any of them games and think, yep, that's not a game. Sorry, that's a game where you can rest Rice. And I was viewing Brentford similarly, not from the fact that we couldn't win without him, but I do think it would have been incredibly difficult without him, because they're a good, physical, powerful team. That's how they play. Like, that's a Declan Rice game, in my opinion. So I personally understand all the concerns, understand where everyone's coming from. He does need a rest. That, for me, wasn't the game for it. And I think, in my opinion, it showed by how close the game was. Like, first half, I thought we were fucking excellent. Some of the football was outrageous, and I was annoyed it was only 1-0. Second half, I felt like we kind of fell off a little bit, but
I think, isn't that maybe that was more the point, is it's the fact that we didn't get that second goal when we was on top, and then that allows you to rest Rice at 60, 65, and bring an Ødegaard to shore it up a little bit, which then kind of does feed into, if you would like, as much as I agree with everything you say about Nonny, if he did have a little bit more impact, then would that help us get that second goal up? So it is all kind of interlinked, isn't it? But
but then I don't know, like, the guy that was excellent to bag the first goal, Merino, he kind of stumbled on his legs and missed a good opportunity for a second. Saka missed a good opportunity. I don't want to pin it on Madueke personally.
I'm not trying. I'm not doing that. No, but it is the ability that we have suffered in, and because we are still struggling with the attacking line, fully fit attacking line, that it still needs that impact, doesn't it? It happens every season where you're overplaying the forwards, which means that they get injured. Then you start having to overplay with the defence because your backups aren't. So if we had got that second goal, then it could have been a different story. But do you think that was could we have brought Gyökeres on sooner?
Well, so that's what the only thing I was going to say is if we want to go down Rice shouldn't have played. The only thing I personally would have done different is Merino as the left eight, Gyökeres up top. But like I was saying to my mate Andrew, like maybe Gyökeres is only capable of limited minutes. Like against Chelsea, where they were down to 10 men, that the minute that happened, that became a Gyökeres number 9 game for me. And the fact that he only did that in the 72nd minute said to me, he's only capable of playing so much at the minute. Again, against Brentford, there were opportunities to get him on earlier. And I can't remember what minute it was, but I want to say it was later than the Chelsea game that he came on. Yeah. So again, I just think it's easy to say these things, but we don't have the insight on what are these players capable of. And I'm intrigued to see how that kind of informs the lineup for what we predict tomorrow against Villa, because that's a Gyökeres game for me, but I don't like Arteta was waxing lyrical about Merino and go on. I feel like we have to. It's Arteta was waxing lyrical about Merino. I feel like we have to. I find him such a weird player, man. Like there's moments in the game where he won't connect a 3-yard pass. He'll try a flick every 2 minutes and it won't connect, and then he pops up Van Persie-esque front post run. Excuse my use of example, and then a fucking bullet header. Like it's
and the ball to Saka.
Yeah, and stuff like I find
the pass to Trossard in the North London derby. That little, that I mean, there's Kai's not playing balls like that. That he's just such a unique. I think is the word. Such a unique. I did hear another pod, and I can't quite remember who it was, and it almost said like, if you play him. When he plays in midfield, he does look a little bit clunky or whatever, and as you say, misplaced passes. But you put him 20 yards forward, and suddenly he looks world class. He knows exactly where to be to help his teammate. He's playing off balls. He's holding the ball up. This is a Mikel Merino team at the moment because we've had to, and the guy has got it's either 29 or 30 G's and A's.
I saw this 28, I think it was.
No, that was probably before. Maybe that was before the other game. But I've heard two people say one said 29, one said 30. So that is amazing for this guy who is. We still don't know kind of what he is, but we also I think we're becoming to realise that he needs to be in the team.
Well,
somewhere.
He does, but
not every game. But
he's
not.
Also
but he's
played a lot himself, right? So like this is the interesting thing. Like I feel like Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, he started all of them, didn't he? And obviously Brentford midweek. So like he's played. And Sunderland as well. Yeah, he's played a lot.
And then he would have done the Spanish. I think he played he scored for Spain again in the international. So he had some minutes in his legs for that. This guy is quickly becoming. I think if we win the league this year, or should I say when we win the league this year, he will be a cult hero, a true cult hero,
and it links
because he will score a goal in a Champions League final, or something like that. You know,
and slightly different point, but like what Chris is saying, can't remember the last time we had an enigma like Merino in the squad. But like to your point, I agree on the cult hero thing. Like, I mean, who would you compare him to in terms of like the cult hero status within the squad in like some of the successful Arsenal teams?
I mean, you almost like they're not the same, but the cult hero. Gilberto Silva, he was, or for me going back even longer than that was Gilles Grimonde. But Gilles Grimonde never had the impact that he was a defender. He just used to come on and shore the game up. He was not.
I've seen a lot of people saying Lundberg, but like I wouldn't look at him as like a kind of squad player. Like
no, but he scored, just popped up and just scored important goals. Yeah, Wiltord, even a Georgie Ware.
Yeah,
but he was nowhere as prolific as this guy. But he just scored important goals, and I think we now as a fan base. I mean, look at the criticism that Arteta received after playing Merino in the Man City game.
Yeah, the free DMs and all of that.
Yeah, for not being adventurous enough and whatever. And this guy has got is just churning goals out every single week. And Arteta clearly loves him. Now the debate will be, when we eventually get there, is where does he fit in the team? When you've got your Havertz back, when you've got your fit Gyökeres, when you've got that fit forward line. But no, in our luck, we will never get that all of them fit at the same time, and it'll be Kai will come back and Merino will be injured or something like that. Well, but no, the guy needs his flowers, because I think he got a lot of stick, a lot of misunderstanding why we bought this guy, why have we still got this guy? He's shit. He's a lump, wears Timberland boots or whatever, and the guy's just churns it out, mate. And he's such a and I've heard you also know that there's in interviews it's who's the most tactical aware player, and they all say Merino.
Oh, really?
He is he just, and I think that playing and it's the coaching of Mikel, isn't it? Of putting him, and he looks like a sponge that will just soak it all up, be his general, and say, I will do whatever you want me to do, wherever you want me to do it. And you need players like that in championship winning teams.
And it's like, I don't think you would have seen Mikel's presser just by the way you're talking about, mate. It's basically not today's presser like the other day or the other week. It's basically word for word, bar for bar.
Yeah, I didn't see it. No, yeah.
Like when he was asked about Merino, he was saying like it's his curiosity, the quality of the questions he asks, and it's all that kind of mental, tactical curiosity and stuff. And then he even spoke, paraphrasing, saying like when he knew we were looking at getting a 9 like Gyökeres, he was thinking like, what's going to happen with Merino's minutes? And then he hasn't had Kai, he hasn't had Jesus. So like he was like, I'm basically just trying to live in the present and kind of deal with what we have. But he loves him. And when I say he was waxing lyrical about him after the game, that feels like underplaying it. He absolutely adores him. And he spoke about he's in such a good momentum. And this is what I'm so curious to have that discussion on the lineup for tomorrow, because we'll get there when we do. Just a couple other points before we move on to looking ahead to Villa Park. Benny White needs to get his flowers for coming back in looking seamless.
And was a full 90 as well.
Full 90. I was a bit nervous on is he physically done, and didn't see any signs of that on Wednesday. And just the other point, because I know my mate Andrew thinks I hate David Raya now after that pod, the selling pod. But what a save that was from David Raya to get in a key point in that game, because I think that was 1-0 or 0-0 at the time. So yeah,
but it puts another 10 mil on our selling pod for Ben White. So well done, Benny. No, for Ben White. So but he. I'm so pleased for him, because I really thought he was the sacrificial lamb, and he'd been done for toast for 2 or 3 years, because he's an absolute warrior. So for him to come back and do that 90 minutes, that is seriously impressive. And he had to, because that wasn't the plan, but he had to. So, and if anyone could do that, it would be Benny White. So it was so good to see. And certainly good to see those overlapping runs and the combination down that side again. And it just sort of brings back vibes, doesn't it, of like the 23-24 season when we were imperious on that side. And I mean, I don't think we'll be seeing him this weekend. Poor fucker probably can't walk for a couple of days.
We may have to, mate. We may have to. Do you want to do it? Should we go on to it?
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so we're moving it on to the Villa preview now. So obviously, if anyone's in the chat, let us know what you think the team will be, what you think the score will be, all of that good stuff. Just before we do get to it, Chris has said, just while we were on that topic, players like Trossard and Merino are the ones you tell your grandkids about when looking back on a trophy-winning season, because they would have already heard about Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice. Yeah, that's so spot on.
But
that
feels like bang on, mate. Yeah,
the best summary of it. But yeah, looking ahead to tomorrow. So, mate, we obviously played Wednesday evening. I know Villa did as well, but tomorrow 12:30. It's just
tough
very
game.
Annoying timing.
Tough.
We're obviously unbeaten in 18, but in our last 4 against Villa, we've only actually won one of them. So yeah, we drew against them at home last season. We did win 2-0 away. That was early on in the season last year. They beat us the year before 2-0 at Argath and 1-0 at theirs. So yeah, what's your mood going into it before we talk team news and all of that?
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. Almost to the extent, if you offered me a draw now, I'd take it.
Should I give you some stats that kind of back you up on that?
Yeah.
Villa have won 20 of their last 25 home matches in 2025. They're unbeaten at Villa Park since August. They've got 5 consecutive home wins. Yeah, that's it. But it's still impressive.
Yeah. I do you know what? I'd take a nil. I would take a boring 0-0. Keep the don't concede. Boring 0-0 but if you gave me a 0-0 with no injuries, I would take that right now. And I know that's. I just think Emery's got a little bit of a thing over us. And
Charles has said it. He said, "Tell me Arteta will have an answer to Emery this time."
Do you know what I would love? To play Emery when we've got a fit squad. And I know it's football, and I know you can't know everyone has injuries, and they have we can all go through that. But it always seems to me that we play Villa last year in between Bayern Munich games. So we were, and he took off, wasn't it Ødegaard? Or he took someone off and brought on Smith Rowe, and then Smith Rowe, as we know, wasn't particularly good off the ball. And they go down the other end and score a goal.
Oh, 2 years ago, yeah.
That was 2 years ago, wasn't it? That one. So yeah. I'm not a fan of Emery.
No, me either.
Not a fan of Emery.
Neither is my good friend Andrew. He fucking despises him.
Yeah, absolutely hate him. So I brought me so many bad times, that bastard. So I want us to smash him up. But I don't think we're going there to smash him up, and I think this is the end because when you look at the games, you're looking at blocks. But this Brentford Villa is okay. Then you've got Bruges next week, but you've got this Villa game is a really, really tough game. 12:30 kickoff. I don't think we do particularly well in 12:30 kickoffs, and certainly away from home after the performance on Wednesday. We are looking very knackered. So that's why I would take a 0-0. But what about yourself?
Yeah, I'll come to where I'm at in a second. Chris makes a good point as well. The atmosphere at Villa Park will be electric after their comeback against Brighton midweek, right? It was, what were they? I forgot what score it was at one point, but they were losing and then they obviously
2-1, I think,
4-3.
And they and if they beat us, they're only 3 points behind us,
Yep.
So that's why it's a huge game.
It is. I feel very conflicted. There's a lot of data doing the rounds at the minute, which is giving me deja vu to a particular run we had under Emery where we were getting points, we were winning, and anyone with a half decent football brain and a set of eyes was like, not sure this is going to continue. And boy, did it fucking implode.
Yeah.
I'm going to read out some stats now, right? So where's it gone? So goals per match in the Premier League, they're 10th. Expected goals, they're 15th. Shots on target per match, they're 11th. Defense, goals conceded per match, they're 3rd. So, that's quite impressive. XG conceded, though, 8th. So not impenetrable. Clean sheets, 4th. So I don't know, that they're 3rd in the table, but the data is telling me they are riding a little bit of positive variance in some states there, and I feel like that sums up Unai Emery teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I think he is a good coach with respect to a club like Villa. He was never the man for the Arsenal,
No.
But I don't know. That to answer the actual question, I feel slightly exactly the same as you. And I'll just say it slightly. Like, I would not be surprised if everything clicks for us and we fucking smack them 4-1.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of on the spectrum of 0-0, 1-1, 2-1, or it will all click.
Yeah.
And everything will fall our way. We'll get a bit of positive variance, but like we'll pop them, boss them. And it's like, I'm not saying I definitively feel that way. It's like on the spectrum that those two thoughts are kind of coexisting in my brain.
Yeah, I think that's more likely than us famous last words, but us being pumped 4-1, So it's all on the. It's again though. It's all on the lineup, isn't it? That's if we've got any attacking options back. What's the defensive situation? Do we think Saliba will play? Do you risk Saliba? We might have to.
Well, and this is where when we were talking about Ben White, like putting his feet up and stuff. If Saliba isn't available, I definitely don't think Mosquera will be. And this is me talking from the perspective of like what I saw, not what I've read or listened to, because I haven't had the chance yet. But I'm not convinced Mosquera will be around. And if Arteta was asked pre-Brentford about Trossard and Saliba and said days. And neither of them were in the squad. And I think that presser was the day before. I believe I saw he said something similar today.
Yeah.
And if it was a Sunday game or a Monday night, I'd be like, okay, that's days.
Yeah.
The game is tomorrow, man. It's, I'm not convinced personally that either Saliba or Mosquera are going to make it. I do believe Rice may. Trossard, I'm shooting in the dark. I've got no idea. But I think we may have to do Timber centre back, White right back again, just because of that. But what about you?
I so if we go for it, Raya, White, Timber, Hincapié, Calafiori. So we've got to say a quick word for Calafiori, man, as well.
That guy is. Yeah, thanks for reminding me,
mate. That guy's unbelievable. So
he's gone up a notch, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's just superb, just superb. So he's everything Zinny we thought we wanted Zinny to be. Or Zinny thought he would be, So, but he's on the next level. So that's that. Then I'd go Zubimendi, Rice.
There's a discussion on our captain, in my opinion.
I know. I was just debating that.
Can I ask you a couple questions before we submit our teams? So
yes,
it may be statements that I then throw at you rather than an actual good question. But this. Again, I'm conflicted between. I want to get to a point where Martin Ødegaard doesn't play every single game for us, and it's nothing to do with Ødegaard. I believe there's games where we need and want what Eze's provided against Tottenham. You have him in that central area to fucking finish an action and murder a team. There are games where I want the volume of touches that Ødegaard brings in certain situations. I can't work out what one I want for this game because I can see both sides of it. I can see parts of this game being quite transitional, a bit open, Eze running into that space to kill an action. And on the flip side of that, I can see parts of this game where I want Ødegaard to kind of put his studs on the ball, pop it around, drop in between the centre-backs, facilitate all the touches to calm it down. So, like, all that to say, who do you play in this game? Or can they both coexist?
Well, yes, that's... Tony, that's how I see it. Is that you've got the two options. We haven't seen them unfortunately enough. We had about 15 minutes against West Ham before Ødegaard got injured, where Eze and they both played.
And I guess Eze did. Were they on the? Yeah, Ødegaard played the whole game, didn't he? Midweek, and Eze came.
So they come. Yeah. So I can see in the future where it can work. It just hasn't had the time to flourish. But I don't want to have a single point of failure for anyone in this squad, and I don't think Arteta does But yes, there will be Ødegaard games, like there'll be Havertz games, like there'll be Gyökeres games, like there'll be Nani, like there'll be Saka, like there'll be Tross. That's what he's building now. So he will know who he wants for that particular game. We just need to be in a position where you have enough fit players that he has those options, because I don't think we've had that so far this season. So if you're going to go, I don't want to have to play Ødegaard every single minute of every single game, but you do miss out on this pressing structure.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, go for it.
I agree. I don't think we need to be as reliant on that as we used to be. I think we are a lot more territorially dominant as a pressing team now, where I think there were phases he was the instigator, but I wouldn't say we've missed him, not in a critical way, just like we've coped very well with alternatives.
Yes.
So I believe that kind of sure, his pressing is fucking phenomenal, right? I'm not trying to downplay that, but I believe we're so good in other areas now that we've almost found other alternatives, whereas that used to be our only, like, that's our thing, that's his thing. Whereas I feel like we've got different layers now, which we've never really had before.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see who he does go for, because again, he's just come back, Ødegaard. So can he do a 90? You know, that's the thing. You're all in
he
these.
Looked like he was gassed, didn't he, towards the end?
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, maybe it's more of a, you start someone else and you bring him on with 20, 25 to go, like he did for the Newcastle game, where we just changed that game. He done exactly what you said, started the ball, opened it up, spraying it about at that game state, and that really took it to him and killed the game when he done that. So maybe that's the option for him tomorrow, rather than starting with him. But I would. So if you go in do you want to go
you do what you would do, and then say what you think Arteta will do. Or I'm happy to go for whatever order
you go for it, mate. You go first.
What I would do in this game is, and I'm just going to work on the assumption that I think Saliba and Mosquera will be out.
Yeah.
And I will work on the assumption that I think Rice and Trossard will be fit.
Okay.
I would go Raya, White, Timber, Hincapié, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard. I feel like this probably is a Martinelli game. Martinelli hasn't done enough for me to warrant starting over some of the others that are available at the minute. And then what I think Arteta will do, I'm really conflicted. His comments on Merino have confused the shit out of me, because, like, on one hand, he's played a lot of football, needs a rest. And then on the other, we've seen him be a big believer in when players are in their rhythm, in their move, in their moment, just let them play. But and then I'm looking at Gyökeres' reintegration. Like, he got 18 minutes or so against Chelsea, 10 to 15 against Brentford. Like, is that enough to get a 90 with how he plays? I know White and Ødegaard came in and did 90s, but they're different players, right? And is that Bruges game almost one he's looking at reintegrating Gyökeres ahead of Wolves at home, which for me feels like I don't know. So
the only thing for me was, we know Emery likes his videotape.
He does.
So he would have been watching 90s, Merino, building his whole game plan around the Merino up top, and then suddenly you not overpraise, but you lavish him with words. He's so important, and bang, you got Gyökeres and someone completely different to get a little tweak over Emery. I don't know. That's possible.
And Charles has made a great point, which I kind of overlooked when we were talking about Ødegaard. Like, when he's saying Aston Villa has to be pressed, they don't have players to go over the top and override the press. That's their sticking point. So maybe that is a kind of a Gyökeres, an Ødegaard in there.
And then you could possibly bring on a Merino and a Martinelli to, once you get your goal, and then if you're getting your goal one up, and there's space, Noni, Martinelli, and that's when it could end up being a 4-1 or a 3-1, 4-1, because if you've done that. So I agree with 100% what your lineup was, which is what I would play.
Is that so? You got the same in what you would do?
Yes, that's what I would do. I would play exactly that.
And now, what the gaffer will do? I think I feel confident in what I would say I think he's going to do. Should I do it?
Well, go on.
I think he'll do Raya, again, working on the assumption Saliba and Mosquera is not around. I think it will be Raya, White, Timber, Hincapié, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Ødegaard, Saka, Merino. No, sorry. Saka, Gyökeres, actually, and Martinelli is what I think he'll do. No, sorry. Eze on the left. Saka, Gyökeres, Eze on the left. I think Ødegaard, Eze in the same team. That's what, and the logic is Eze or Trossard, like final action killers. Ødegaard for the press is kind of influenced by what Charles said. I think Arteta will be all over that. So that's what I think.
But I do think haven't we seen in the last few games that Eze and Merino were building up that nice little. Merino takes all the battery and Eze sits on the centre, outside the box or just at the edge of the box and passes the ball into the net. So can Gyökeres have the same impact or combo with? But he's a bit of a battering ram as well himself, isn't it? So
it's a partnership. I'm very excited to see. You know, with like Eze on the left, Ødegaard in the midfield, and Gyökeres up top in some games. I think Gyökeres will stretch and pin teams.
Yeah,
and that space for Eze to drift in. Both of them play the balls in. I'm really excited by that.
With Saka coming in on the and then you also got the overlapping. Actually, it's convinced me more. If we have to play White, then it's going to be that combo, isn't it? It's going to be White, Saka, and Ødegaard on that right hand side.
I think I've talked myself into that as well as we.
And then with that, then you could have Gyökeres up top with that nice combo there that could feed him and take the battering, and Eze comes in from there. Yeah, I think it probably play Merino, but that's who. I think that would potentially be the one.
Fair play.
And prediction.
Yeah, go on, ladies and gents. If you're in the chat, let us know what you think the score will be. Charles is coming in clutch with the info. Most points in the last 9 Premier League games. Aston Villa 24 points, Arsenal 23. Let's see, have we got any predictions in? We've got a couple comments saying Arsenal rely on set pieces. It's unsustainable. Yes, of course, darlings. Marsh says, did feel like Eze being brought in on the left midweek. Ødegaard midfield was to try it out ahead of the weekend. Yeah, possibly.
Aren't we nearly at the top of the open goals scored now?
We are.
That set pieces was so October, mate. It was so October. We're in December now, boys. We're a different animal now. So I will go. I'm thinking something like that from Christopher. I'm going. Do you know what? I'll go 2-2.
Desmond.
Yeah. 2-2.
Where is it? There was a comment from Charles that I starred, which I wanted to read that I now can't flipping find. It was about Martinez because I think Martinez missed sorry.
Yeah, he missed midweek, didn't he?
Sorry, Charles. I know you sent it. I starred it, but I can't find it now. Marco Bizzo. He played midweek. Here it is. I found it. 100th Premier League appearance for Martinez, mate. All indicators.
Going to save a penalty, isn't he? He'll save a penalty. He'll save a Gyökeres penalty. It'll be 2-2, and the penalty is to win 3-2, and Martinez will save it. There's a prediction.
We've got someone called Joseph in the chat. Why aren't we worried about our open play creation? Because I'm pretty sure statistically I think we're pretty comfortable on that side now. And Chris has said we've actually got the joint most open play goals in the league since November. I was actually a bit upset we didn't score a set piece against Tottenham.
Yeah, I know. It's just we need a little injection, don't we? Just to keep our adrenaline going. We need that set piece goal every week, just to piss off and boil the piss of every fan base. So
you're going 1-0. You going 1-0, are you?
I'm going 2-2.
Oh, sorry. Desmond 2-2. Chris is going 1-0. Like I said, that left side of my, I don't know what side of the brain is logic, which side is emotional, but one side of my brain is saying kind of on the same lines of you and Chris, like can see it being really close, cagey, really uncomfortable in periods. There is a half of my brain that's like, it's all going to fucking click and the data of Aston Villa is going to get punched to shit. I'm going for it. 3-1 to the Arsenal. I think there'll be periods in this game where it's clicking, it's flowing. I think there'll be periods in the game where they get chances and we're uncomfortable, like especially without our two. I think we'll be without both Saliba and Gabriel and Mosquera. But those defensive stats of theirs are terrible. Like, what was it again? Was it the defensive ones or the attacking ones?
The attacking ones. They've got the fourth or the third amount of clean sheets, haven't they? Third most clean sheets.
Yeah, but it was more like I don't. Clean sheets are like there's variance in that. It was.
They had a lot of shots against them.
It was like the underlying were like
bit poor with aerial duels as well. So.
Marsha said get that comment from Clates clipped up ready for after the game. But I don't know, man. Even as much as I say I think they'll get chances, so their expected goals according to Sky, they're 19th this season. Like 20th for shot conversion inside the box, 20th for XG per shot. So that screams to me they have a lot of low probability chances, like maybe screamers and stuff like.
Yeah.
And we know how structurally as a team we defend. And then I can't find what the stats were about their defense.
I'm just a bit worried that Watkins has scored a couple. He seems to be back on form, and he loves scoring against us, doesn't he? So that's why I think it'll be a hard-fought draw, and we'll have a very late chance to win it that probably Martinez will pull one out of his arse and save.
Probably. So I'm going for it, man. It will be an uncomfortable game. There'll be periods where they make us nervous. There'll be periods where we're frustrating the shit out of ourselves. But I think there'll be periods in this game where it's like, there was 20 minutes against Brentford where I was like, some of this, I know it was different opposition, but some of the football was great. And I think we're getting some of the gang back together in the midfield and forward areas. And I think we may see some really nice combinations in this game that they can't keep up with. So I'll go for it. I'll go 3-1 away win.
Nice.
We will leave it there. It's great. Like I said, great to have you back, mate. It's missed you, and hopefully we're able to do a little review of this game, preview of Bruges. We obviously haven't chatted about timings or anything yet, but we'll have a chat and put it out on the Twitter sphere if we can do that. Anything else?
No, that's all good for me, mate.
Nice. All
good
right.
To be back. Good to be back.
Nice one. Yeah, fingers crossed for a big 3 points tomorrow. I mean, you did set Joe's another. I don't know if this is the same Joseph, but he says this is a simple 3-0 win for Arsenal. Aston Villa, they have terrible metrics. They are playing horribly. So
hopefully you're right, Joseph, because I'll take that.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, everyone, thanks again for joining. It was good to have so many of you live in the chat. Like I said, we were 11 subs away from 400 before this pod. I'm hoping we got near to it. We're probably 12 away now. But if anyone is watching live, not subscribed, enjoyed it, obviously subscribe to the channel. You'll see when we go live. We're trying to hit the 400 before Christmas. If we can do it even before then, that would be great. And as I always say, word of mouth is the biggest thing with these sort of things. So share it amongst your friends, your Arsenal group chats, all of that good stuff. And if you've watched live, drop the stream a like. Goes a long way. Nice one. Like I said, good to have you back, Uncle Mike. And fingers crossed for a big 3 points at Villa Park tomorrow. Up the Arsenal.
Come on, you Reds.